Hello, English 1 students. Mr. Williamson again. Just want to finish reading this short chapter of the Sailing from Troy from the Odyssey. The video ran out of time earlier, so I'm going to just pick up where we left off. I'm going to start where it says, "What of those years of rough adventure?" And then in the next video, I will elaborate, explain this particular episode in a little more detail. What of those years of rough adventure weathered under Zeus, the wind that carried west from Ilium, brought me to Ismarus on the far shore, a strong point on the coast of Cicones. Now these names don't get worried by these names. I'm probably butchering them anyways, but there's a lot of names that you may struggle with. Just do the best you can when you're reading and don't worry about it. I stormed that place and killed the men who fought. Plunder we took, and we enslaved the women to make division equal shares to all. But on the spot I told them, back and quickly, out to sea again. My men were mutinous. This is an odd start for our heroes because they are attacking kind of a small village that was not a threat to them. Okay, they come in and attack this village. And in the next video, just elaborate that a little more. But think about this, especially this chapter being kind of having to deal with the theme of consequence of actions. Okay, think about that's a big theme in the story. You we must be accountable for our own actions. Odysseus also loses control of his men here. He orders them to go back to the ship, but his men were mutinous. They were rebellious. They refused to listen. Fools on stores of wine. His men were fools on stores of wine. Wonder what that means. Sheep after sheep they butchered by the surf, and shambling cattle, feasting, while fugitives went inland, running to call to arms the main forces of Cicones. So while Odysseus and his men are like attacking this village, some of the villagers manage to escape and they run out and they call upon this army, the Cicones army, to come and assist them. This was an army trained to fight on horseback or, where the ground required, on foot. They came with dawn over that terrain like the leaves and blades of spring. So doom appeared to us, dark word of Zeus for us, our evil days. My men stood up and made a fight of it, backed on the ships, with lances kept in play, from bright morning through the blaze of noon, holding our beach, although so far outnumbered. But when the sun passed toward the unyoking time, then the Achaeans, and just so you know, the Achaeans are the Greeks and Odysseus is a Greek, okay? So when they refer to Achaeans, they're referring to Odysseus and his crew. The Achaeans, one by one, gave way. 6 benches were left empty in every ship that evening when we pulled away from death, and this new grief we bore with us to sea. Our precious lives we had, but not our friends. No ship made sail next day until some shipmate had raised a cry 3 times for each poor ghost unfleshed by the Cicones on that field. So, keeping in mind that a key theme in the story is consequence of one actions. Look at what happens here. Odysseus and his crew attack this village that is not a threat to them. Odysseus loses control of his men. His men rebel against him, so Odysseus is not being a very good leader here. And then when they have to fight the Cicones army, the men aren't prepared for it. They lose the battle. They're forced back to their ship, and then it says 6 benches were left empty in every ship that evening when we pulled away from death. Needlessly, if you think about it, Odysseus lost many of his men already. Did not need to happen. There was another way around this. If they needed supplies, they probably could have, worked out some agreement with this village, but instead they just rush in without thinking. In the next video, we'll just elaborate a little more on this chapter about sailing from Troy. But just it's pretty simple. Odysseus and his men start a fight that they really didn't need to fight, and they suffer because of it. All right, see you in the next video.